fear of success comes from having to maintain a certain level of work that you're not really mentally prepared for. But of course you're not mentally prepared to maintain that level of success when you haven't even worked towards it. Come on, buddy, you can do this. Hashtag blessed. Hi, I am G, but you also know me as Mama G. I'm gonna wait till this is what happens when you live downtown. So I think that the biggest issue when it comes to being a content creator or aspiring, so I think the biggest issue when it comes to creating content is this idea or this comparison culture where there's other people making much better content or doing other things that are much better than you, that it creates this whole idea that what's the point of doing something if someone else is doing something better, you know? And this is making me try to figure out what I'm doing this for. One of the biggest reasons why I actually love creating content is this idea of being able to record it for the future so that I can look back and see where I was in my life, how I acted, my mannerisms, where I was living at the time, and what's been happening around me. Wow, I love how it's so noisy right now. Thank you. Okay. See, now this is where the issue lies. When you watch other people doing something, it's really easy to get in your head and say, what's the point of me doing it if someone else is already doing it better? But now this is where I come in with the one-su. Okay, get ready, baby. Okay, when it comes to anything creative, anything at all in general actually, nobody will ever do anything the way that you do it. You have a certain perspective, outlook, upbringing, style that will never be matched by somebody else because we've all had a completely different outlook on life, have absorbed different things that have influenced our abilities in general. So I think that it's really easy to get in our heads about creating something because we feel like someone else will do it better, but how would you know? And who the frick is judging whether or not that thing is better than your thing, you know what I mean? And like, let me get into it. Let's go back. I've spent a lot of time in my life not doing what I wanted to be doing, which is creating content, because I've always pushed the ideas to a later date, thinking to myself, oh, I'll do it when I have better camera equipment, I'll do it when I have the money or a better team behind me to help me execute it, I'll do it when this and that and this. All of these excuses really limited my ability to actually improve and gain the expertise, the knowledge, the skill set to actually do the damn thing. Every single idea I've ever had when I was younger is gone. If you haven't read the book Big, I'm gonna put it up here, Big Something, by that one woman, Elizabeth Gilbert, who wrote Eat, Pray, Love, you better read it. But basically, ideas come and go like it's an actual tangible thing, in the sense that if you get an idea and you don't plan on executing it, it will leave you and go to somebody else. And that alone is kind of scary to think about, because it's like every idea that you have ever had is probably not you. This is another thing that actually really intrigues me about the creative process. Whenever I've created something or done something or said something that was even remotely wise, I've never actually felt like it was me speaking or saying it. It's always felt like something beyond me has said it. I'm just the messenger. Especially when it comes to creative stuff. I'm just the messenger, it's not me. And I've always felt guilty in a way growing up, being like, this feels kind of like I'm taking someone else's credit, but like, it's still my body doing the thing, I guess. I don't know, whoever's giving me this beautiful stuff, thank you. I appreciate you. Just know that it's just the amount of execution that the individual is. I don't know, that's the credit that I'm due, that I'm willing to receive, the fact that I'm willing to actually create this. Because this is another point. As much as we want to do something, are you actually gonna do it? It's mind-boggling to me to see how many people create excuses about things that they actually want to do. I went to a wedding. I was a second shooter for a friend. She was the main photographer. The really sweet wedding DJ man came around. We were just hanging out, having a chat. My friend asked him, hey, have you ever produced any of your own music? Immediately, this man's probably in his 40s, 50s. Yeah, I did, but I never found the right atmosphere to actually create. I really needed that space to do my thing. And immediately, I didn't say this out loud, I just wanted to be a little bit like, my first thought was, that's an excuse. that's an excuse. You're just saying that, but something much deeper is probably there, you know? You know? Okay, am I say single? My god. What prevented me the most to create was the fear of success. Not the fear of failure, the fear of success, because I believe everyone is going to fail in life. Failure is actually inevitable. Failure only happens when you actually give up. Let me rephrase that. Let me make that make more tangible sense. I think failure is just giving up in total. I don't think you actually ever really fail. I think you improve. I think that you are shown a vision of what works and what doesn't work, especially like when it comes to business or creating something. You realize, oh, this video didn't get a lot of views, or this project that I had didn't get enough traction, I didn't get enough sales on this thing. What can I do to improve? It's only a failure when you think it's never gonna work, I give up, I don't want to try anymore. That's a failure. But this whole idea of failure of success, fear of success, comes from this fear of having to maintain a certain level of work that you're not really mentally prepared for. But of course you're not mentally prepared to maintain that level of success when you haven't even worked towards it. This is why I think that people who get overnight success, they're not going to maintain that level of success because they haven't had the mental or physical or, you know, emotional preparation for it. I had a fear of success because I didn't know how to maintain a level of creativity, knowing that creativity for me comes from a very sacred place where it's random and it's non-consistent. It's not something as consistent as going into work and having a customer, you know, want something, or having a list of numbers to put into a spreadsheet or something. It's totally, completely creative, and you can't really fully rely on creativity, or so I thought. Let's keep going. We're going on a good roll here. I'm literally just hopping from place to place in my room. Or so I thought was the last thing I said, right? Okay, where am I going? It is currently Friday, September 23rd, meaning I have posted a video every single week for the last 9 months, almost 10 months. That's almost a full year. And it has been challenging, and it has been emotionally exhausting at some points, trying to create something when I'm completely uninspired. Like, I'm not traveling, and all of my videos are about travel since January, goddamn. But I still did it, and it's given me a lot of knowledge and expertise about how I want to proceed moving forward. This entire process has shown me the value of consistency and how quantity is really important, but also how quality really dictates how you progress. I'm not really that proud of probably half of the content I put out there because it was a matter of me meeting my quota. I genuinely want to keep doing this because there's something within me that just loves the process of creating it. And sometimes it's gonna be really poo. Sometimes I'm gonna make a video that I'm not ever gonna want to see ever again, but I know in the future it's gonna be something for me to look back on and say, wow, I really improved. And going back into the tangent, nobody will ever create the same way that you do. There are moments where you can create stuff that you really aren't proud of or that you didn't like, but you did it. That's all that really freaking matters. There's so many people that have so many excuses about why they can't do something, but it's just a matter of trying. And why are we so afraid of success or failure? It's way worse to sit in that stagnancy of hoping and dreaming and wondering about what it would be like to actually do the damn thing than to actually do the damn thing. So if you've been thinking about doing something creative or wanting to venture out in a business and you're freaking afraid of what you have to lose, just like be with that fear for sure, but don't listen to it. Freaking do the damn thing. What do you have to lose? So I hope this makes sense. I was super inspired. I didn't think that I would be inspired at all to create something, but there you go. There you have it. Creativity strikes you when you least expect it. I hope some of this made some sense, and I feel like it's also a matter of me having more inspiration for myself to look back on, because I can continue to critique myself for having content that I'm not proud of, but at the end of the day, I'm freaking proud of myself for doing it, and that's all that really matters. Because I have a full-time job. I'm in a place where I don't really feel this strong desire to create, but I'm still doing it, and that's really what matters. Just do it. Yeah. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe, and maybe leave me a comment about what kind of content you'd like to see, because I'm always looking to improve and honestly figure out what I want to create on here, because it's meant to be fun. I don't want it to be like a chore or a job, so yeah, let me know. Anyways, I shall see you next week. I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Mwah.